Alright guys, this is a Huben Power drain valve for the Notos. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview. I'm going to give you chronograph testing, accuracy testing, installation process, and everything you need to know about the regulator. Now first, just want to give you guys a good idea of what the regulator is. The regulator allows you to put any type of bottle on it with the correct thread, obviously. It has a 4,500 psi max, so that's as much pressure as you can put in it. You can't go over 4,500 psi because it wouldn't be safe. The regulator can't handle anything over 4,500 psi. So just keep that in mind. Don't go buy a 7,000 psi bottle or something. Also, you have to keep in mind, you do have to get the correct thread sides for it to screw on. First, I'll show you guys what we got going on here. We have your regulator pressure gauge. This tells you how much air is in your regulator and tells you basically how much pressure is the regulator working with. Then you have your normal gauge right here. They do read an MPa. MPa, just go on Google, type in MPa calculator to PSI or something, and it'll do it, and it's like a one-time thing. That's all you guys do. I believe 30 MPa is equal to 4,500 PSI. Alright, then you have your externally adjustable regulator right here. You just unscrew this nut right here and twist it. You can only go up when the gun is gassed. If you want to go back the regulator down, you have to degas it before you do that. But other than that, when you turn it up, you can see the regulator rise, and that's very helpful. There's no taking the gun apart, unscrewing stuff and all that. All you got to do is loosen the nut and turn it up. Obviously, again, degas it if you want to lower the pressure. Alright, then you have this kind of power plenum right here, and this also has a clocking thing on it. Now what is the clocking for? The clocking helps it so it's not off. So as you can see, it's perfectly aligned and level. If you didn't have a clocking feature, you'd have to sand stuff down and all that. So this, you just unscrew the little grub screws, and that allows you to clock it. And I'll show you guys that in the installation process. Right here is your fill nipple. You just take the cover off, that's included, and you can fill it up right there. It's a quick Foster disconnect. It's standard like the Notos fill probe is. What's cool is it's not a fill probe, it's just there, so there's no having to lose your fill probes and all that. So I thought that was really cool. Alright, those are kind of the main features, the main idea of what you're getting. Now let me show you guys what comes in the box. Alright, I'll show you guys what comes in the box. So here you got this. So this is really cool. I like how they're branding and stuff. I really like the drag and all that. But enough of the box. Let's open it. So like an iPhone case kind of thing. Foam to protect it. Always a good idea. YouTube link. I guess they have a YouTube channel. Cool sticker right here. I'm gonna put this on something. I really like that dragon. This is also something really cool. An authentication card. On the back of it, it gives you a number. You scrape off the number thing, and it reveals the number. Go to their website, type it in, and it tells you if it's an authentic product. I did hear a lot of people on AliExpress try to counterfeit it, so that's how you know if you got a real thing. Here you have their website card, got every regulator they got on there. Then I thought this was pretty interesting. They sent a whole thing of O-rings. I think this actually might be a rebuild kit for the Notos. I think. I might be wrong. I don't know what it is. But yeah, I think that might be what that is. Then they give you this, which I believe this is the O-ring kit for the regulator. Then they have a little oil container, so you can just have your oil there if you need to lubricate your stuff. You always want to lubricate your O-rings when you're screwing something back on. Always a good idea so you don't accidentally pinch it or something. Alright, so those are all the goodies they give you, and I really like how they give you all these O-rings. Really nice touch. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to put the drain valve on the Notos. You're going to need Allen keys, and I recommend getting some Pelgan oil, and I'll show you guys what that's for. Alright, first what you're going to want to do, degas the gun. How do you degas it? See this screw right here. Get Allen key and twist it, and you'll hear gas escape. I already degassed it. If you don't have this part, I think if you kind of first bought it when it first came out, you won't have this part, and I believe Umarex will give you a part if you ask for it. First, If you don't have that part, take this cap off that's right here and just loosen the gauge right here and it will degas it. Alright, so next what you're going to do once you degassed it, I recommend just cocking it and taking one shot to make sure it's fully degassed. Once it's fully degassed, the tank will just screw right off, just like this. So, alright, once it comes off, you can set it aside. Now, grab your Dream regulator valve. So once you have the Dream regulator valve, grab another Allen key, and you see these grub screws? Unscrew them, and do not lose them. If you lose them, then you might not be having a good day. So they look like that right there, really small, and I'm gonna put them in my bucket thingy. And then there's two, so there's two of them. Get the other one, unscrew it, and set it aside. Alright, so what this does is this allows the regulator to clock. So as you can see, it can twist, and this is what we're gonna need, and it's very helpful. So yeah, you gotta do that step. Then get some Pelgon oil and the O-ring. There is an O-ring right there. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your Pelgon oil and you're just gonna dab some on there and just dab all around it. So what this does is it keeps the seal lubricated so you don't accidentally pinch it or something. If you don't have Pelgon oil, it's not the end of the world. You don't need it, but I recommend using it. But yeah, alright, so then what you're gonna wanna do is this side points towards the barrel and this side points towards the gun. So you're going to align your regulator and just screw it on. So you just kind of want to hold it there and turn this. You just want to keep going until it sits on the O-ring. So just keep twisting this thing. Alright, so once you have the plenum tightly screwed in, just clock your regulator. So get it where you want it. Alright, so once you get the plenum thingy tightened, you want to get back your grub screws. And right here, just want to start screwing them in there. So what this does is it holds it still so the clocking thing is locked. Make sure they're snug. Flip it over. Find your other one. If the other one's hidden, if the other hole's hidden, you don't need to screw it in both. Just one is fine, but it would be probably pretty nice to screw in both of them. Looks like my regulator is clocked. Alright, now what we're gonna do is once you have your regulator clocked, unscrew this. So unscrew this metal cap right here, and this kind of protects the threads for the bottle and all that. Alright, you can just set this aside. That's basically no longer needed. Then you have your bottle. Grab your bottle, and of course it has to have the correct size threads, and pay attention to that. There is an O-ring right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Pelgon oil on it. Alright, put some Pelgon oil in there, and all you're going to do is just screw it on there, just like that. Alright, so just so y'all know, when you twist this on here, and once it gets snug, it's going to try to turn the regulator, so just kind of put it back where you had it. Now this will be a little bit wiggly. I think you guys can see that. Now it will be wiggly until you gas it. So once you gas it, everything is as snug as a bug. It won't move at all. Trust me on that. It does not move. Once it pressurizes, it gets everything snug and all that. So it will be wiggly when it's degassed. So how you gas it, all you got to do is unplug this little thingy right here and fill it up. Now, if you bought the Notos and you had to cock it, you still have to cock it when it's empty. So you have to go cock the lever back, cock it all the way, and then you can fill it. Otherwise, it'll spill out. You still have to cock it for it to fill. If you don't know, what happens is the hammer sits on the valve and it does not let the gun fill, so you do have to cock it. Remember that. Always cock it. So if it's not filling, it's not broke, it's just because you have to cock it. Alright, so that is how you put the regulator on there. Alright, so we're going to do some reg testing with the Huben Dream valve. We're going to be using these Gammo 21 grain pellets and Crosman hollow points 14.3, so you guys can kind of get a good idea. We'll try a heavy pellet and we'll try a lighter pellet. The reg, just about, I would say 12 MPa, so you guys can take a look at that, but I would say 12 MPa. Alright, so 12 MPa, have not touched the hammer spring. I got it shipped to me at 10 MPa, so you can just twist it up and get kind of where I'm at. But this should be shooting about as fast as the stock Notos would. So, alright, I'm going to switch you guys over so you can see the chronograph. First up, 21 grain Gammo pellets. So we're going to take 4 shots. 658. 652. 655. 658. Very consistent, as you can see. So, alright, let me go load up Crosman hollow points and we'll do 4 shots of those. Alright, here we go. Crosman hollow points 14.3. 756. 748. 745. 752. So, there you go. So around 750 with the reg set just above 10 MPa. That's the chronograph testing. Let's shoot some groups. Alright, here's our 7-shot group. Don't count that. That one was me. But here's our group right here. Under a thumb. Half-inch group right there, I would say. Not bad at all for 30 yards and cheap pellets. 7-shot group is looking pretty good. Alright, let's talk about this regulator for a bit and we'll end the video. First, I want to say I like it. And then I'll talk about, do I recommend it for you? Try to give you guys a better idea of if it's right for you. Alright, I love it. Right off the bat, I can say I love it. Just being able to install it, adjusting regulator a little bit, and those groups at 30 yards with cheap Crosman hollow points was extremely well. Like, that's a pretty darn good group. And what's amazing is I'm not stuck with that. I can adjust the hammer spring and I can adjust it even more. I could just find the right pellet for it and it's going to shoot lights out. And you could do that, the same thing with the Notos, the normal Notos, but you're limited to power and how many shots you get. You can find the right pellet that might shoot as good as it, but you're not going to get the same amount of power and shots per fill you would get off of a tank and a regulator. Also, it's a big pain in the butt to adjust a stock regulator on the Notos because you got to take it apart and you don't even have a gauge to say how much you're at. So that's just kind of my opinion on that or whatever. I really like it, and I really like how I just could connect it and I was getting those results, and I can't wait to see what I get when I start messing with this thing. It's gonna be crazy. And I might get an FX barrel liner from C88 Machining so I can have a longer barrel, and that would be really, really cool. I may not. Well, think about it, because that's like a $240 investment. I could get another Notos for that much. So, we'll see. Alright, do I recommend it? I totally recommend it. If you're hand pumping and you don't have a compressor, I will say it's probably not a good thing to get it. Reason is, a tank has a lot more volume than a tube, and it's a lot harder to pump than the Notos tube. If you've ever pumped like the JTS Hirakuda Max, it's a standard kind of long rifle tube. I get winded by that, and that's like 150 pumps. So I can't imagine how many times you're going to be pumping this, like 450 or something like that. It might be worth it. You get a workout, and you get 80 shots per fill, at least how much I'm getting. So it might be you might want it, I don't know. But that's up to you to decide. But if you had a hand pump, I wouldn't really recommend it. If you have a compressor, like a Yonghang or another pretty strong compressor, yeah, you should get it. And if you shoot a lot, if you like to plank, definitely a big recommendation. When I went to go shoot the Notos, I'd shoot 21 shots and then I'd go fill it, and it's kind of like, really, it takes the fun out of it. So having this is a very big game changer, and the power that I'm going to be able to get is going to be really cool. So I recommend it if you're planking, hunting. Hunting's a big one. It doesn't add too much weight. My 300cc bottle on here, it doesn't have that much weight. It's a little front heavy, but it doesn't feel that bad. It really shoulders well, and I think it keeps it balanced and stuff. So I would definitely recommend it for hunting and planking. If you're going rat hunting, it's going to be perfect, especially if you got an infestation or something. You're going to be set. And you just carry a little buddy bottle. Oh man, you're going to have a lot of shots. That's my recommendation for people who have a compressor, who like to hunt, and who like to plank a lot. If you don't plank a lot and stuff, I don't know. Maybe there's not a need to. But this, you can really squeeze a lot of accuracy out of the Notos, so that's a good thing. Alright, I think, again, I really like it. If you want it, I got some stuff in the description. I'll tell you where I got this tank. I got this tank off of AliExpress for $25. So that's a lot cheaper than you would get on Amazon. So I'll drop a link in the description. You can get it. You can pick yourself a Huben regulator up too. Really cool, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys see more of this thing, because this thing's so cool. And maybe I'll get back to y'all and show you guys. Once I figure out once I tune it perfectly, I'll tell you what pellet it likes, how to tune it, and all that. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.